Okay, so in this video, I want to show you guys how we can basically use their tools against them to reveal what's hiding in the sky after they do this haze to hide these ships right before hurricanes or earthquakes happen. These ships are on standby in the sky and not everyone can see them. So I figured out a way where I can edit the picture to a point where I can bring up the contrast and bring down the brightness, because there might be an LED light that they are using to hide these abnormalities that are in the sky when you see clouds that are very edgy and just weird abnormalities in the clouds. They tend to be ships, and these ships formulate their own sets of clouds to hide themselves. And in this picture, I can already see the ship. I'm not sure if it's the entrance of the ship, and we're looking at the bottom part. But so what I do is we're gonna go to the toning, and we're gonna start off with the highlight and shadow. So like I said, all we're doing is using their tools against them. So we want to bring up the shadows because that's what has edges, and see how when we don't bring up the shadows, it looks dark. So now it's gonna highlight everywhere else, even the street. Well, I just want it like up to here. And now we're gonna focus on the highlight, because bringing down the highlight will show us more of contrast on things, and then we're going to go back and bring up the highlight. But for now, we're going to bring it down. So do you see what when you bring it up, there's a lot of highlight and there's not a lot you can work with. So you bring the highlight down. And now this is the same method that I use when I want to see if there's any scars on people that have inverted themselves. It's the same kind of tactics, because these people, when they take a picture, they use a white light, and the white light covers their facial features and things like that, and it softens them up. Same reason when girls take a picture right by the window or in the sun to cover their ugliness. That's kind of how it is. It's the same thing. So we're going to bring down the highlight, and this is how I want it. We're going to go to exposure, and on this section it just depends on what you want to work with. So for example, when I'm on exposure, we bring it up, it highlights everything. So it's kind of like a balance where you want it to be. So I'm going to pick where I feel that I can work with. It depends on what you're able to see, because I'm not trying to reach now. So I think this is a good balance. And now I'm going to go to the gamma, and the gamma is very important because it's light, but it's supposed to be the natural sunlight, and you cannot trick the natural sunlight. So we're going to bring that up. And now I just want to show you real quick what I mean by the entrance of the ship would be this right here. Do you see the stairs right there? And now on the edge, you can see it's like a dog-like figure on the same side that is over here. And this almost looks like a hooded man riding two animals, but what it actually is, it's the top, and it opens and this closes, where you see it's like a square shape, and these are the stairs. This thing at the top what it looks like to be a man with a hood is the top of a ship, and the top part where you can see the circles right here, that's still part of the ship. Now, it's so big that your eyes can't imagine to see it. You have to take a picture of it to see the bigger, the bigger picture of the whole ship. The shadowy part is actually the bottom part of the ship, and that's why it looks like a rectangle. So yes, moving on, we're going to raise up the gamma, and we're going to leave it like to this much because I'm going to work on the contrast still, and I still need some light to work on. But look at the difference. This is how we started off, and like I said, they have a bright light in the sky to where they're able to hide, and this is how it would look. And with editing, you get more contrast. So we're going to work on this one, and now we're going to go to this section where it just focuses on the brightness and contrast. We're going to bring the brightness down and work on the contrast. And now using this contrast, we're going to bring up the brightness. And give it a little bit more contrast. But I still want to be able to see the bottom part. Okay. So, pretty interesting, huh? These two dogs remind me of the dog of Horus. That's what these two things look like, and this looks like an Egyptian architect kind of ship.